Dun, 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 dun. I thank y'all for tuning in to the last live, which was a Brave Girl chat. And so, what was it? Punky Rooster asked me, what do I eat to smell good all day long? Feel like I'm about to preach. I brushed, I brushed, but it's the lighting. It's the lighting making me look like that. I don't like that. Doing me dirty. I might give it a few minutes, but I'm gonna start right away. I'm one of the people like to start right away. You feel me? I like to start right away. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you have, this is for those that will click into the live stream. What do I eat to smell good all day? So I briefly touched base on this a few short nights ago. It might have been night before last or 2 nights ago, whatever the case may be. And I spoke about what I eat, but I didn't go in great depth. So I believe it was Punky Rooster on the very, very last live stream asked that, and it was kind of off topic for what I was talking about because it was a Brave Girl chat. Now we're gonna talk about the food again because what you eat affects how you smell. So I'm gonna give you both ends: plant-based, including all the foods you shouldn't be eating, ain't got no business eating, but it might taste good, including when I return back to eating my proteins, my meats. Pause. Okay. Yeah, it was I don't know, about almost 2 days ago. Okay. So let me take a swig here. Water. This is H2O. It ain't nothing else. So just before the 2020 debacle is when I went plant-based. I was plant-based for 3 years. Okay. Quick backstory. So what I learned is when eating plant-based affected how I smelled, and my skin began to absorb scents and oils and perfumes much better. So we're going to start by food category. For breakfast, I would fix things like an avocado quesadilla. Avocados are known to be a heart healthy food, and it's one of the healthier fats that you eat. Wait, hold on. Heart healthy. I got the comments on, so come on in. Come on in. Avocado quesadillas. I would make things called hummus bowls. Hummus is a chickpea dip that is made up of crushed or blended together chickpeas, tahini, lemon juice, and olive oil. Tahini is a paste made out of sesame seeds and oil. So you want to throw that all in there together and don't make the tahini first, or tahini, maybe it's pronounced that way. Then that will that can still make hummus. You're just not taking the time to make the individual ingredients and sauces together for everything. I stuck to a lot of beans, a lot of grains for things, and also I would stick to eating things maybe like grits. Not the healthiest thing, but at least it wasn't fully vegan, but I ain't put no bacon fat in there. Hello, Mike. We were talking about what do you eat to smell good, coming from a previous commenter when I was just live just a few short minutes ago. And we are in the breakfast category of plant-based. I would eat grits. I would either take unsalted butter or plant butter. Also unsalted or be lightly salted. Yes. And I take care of my hair underneath. Not that you didn't ask, but yes. For lunch is where it kind of got me in trouble and I gained a little bit of weight. Oh, we're back on breakfast. Hold on. Howie is hash brown. I would definitely eat hash browns. Now the warning with hash browns is potatoes. Potatoes. Potatoes known to cause gas in some people, and if it doesn't cause gas, it's still you might fumigate the place and you need to make a quick run to the bathroom. Yeah. Mike, I'm not sure if the question is has to do with the hair or the food. Please let me know. Um, Also, I eat things like toast and then drizzle agave syrup or honey. I think at one point I swapped out the honey for the agave nectar because the agave nectar and syrup is a less thicker and a bit healthier than the honey. Honey is like nearly overkill of sweet. And so even if you are plant-based right now currently, you still need to be careful with sweets because they're not your best friend in the long run. Yes, agave is a bit more healthier. So these are things that I ate to smell good. Although my goal when I was plant-based for those 3 years was not to eat to smell good. My primary goal was to eat to feel better. But it still resulted in me smelling good. Welcome back, Chloe. Tequila 1800 has agave. Well, you still kind of playing in your kidney's face if you drinking, partner. That's all. That's all. That's your business. You can keep drinking it. I'm just please be kind to your kidneys, please. That's all. So that's a couple things I would eat for breakfast. Oatmeal. I would just use agave, put cinnamon in it, brown sugar if I had it. You know, I had some brown sugar. Okay. I sung it off tune on purpose. Y'all ain't look. I ain't finna be getting copyright claimed up in here. Then what else did I eat for breakfast? I would often eat cereal. Now, cereal is not often the healthiest, but I would make sure to get whole grain. Make sure it would say whole grain on the label. Um, Granola is really good because it's not traditional cereal, but it's also not oatmeal. It's right in the middle, and it's usually toasted and has almonds in it. Now, if you're allergic to almonds or any type of nuts, such as almonds, walnuts, cashews, then I would just get the granola and omit it. Now, if you're scared that on the back of the packaging that the granola is going to say produced in a factory that processes peanuts as well, then I would avoid granola altogether and do that. Sigma. Oh, Sigma from the previous live. Hold on. All right. All right, we're back. We're back. Just had some background noise. Whole grain. Yep, whole grain does have wheat. Whole wheat grain. Also in my breads, I went to buying either the butter bread or the honey wheat bread. I'll tell you this, honey wheat bread reminds me of pumpernickel bread. Is that how it's pronounced? In fact, the darker and more brown and more grain based breads that you would eat, Granted, breads fill you up, so you got to be careful. And sometimes that would be why I would be feeling like I need to take a nap. So you got to be careful with this. Plant-based don't always mean healthy. You got to make the choice. The choices you make is what determines how you're going to smell, how you're going to feel overall. I will opt for more breads with full of grains and gluten-free. Yes, that's the key. Gluten-free. Definitely. That's going to make a great, great difference. Now, have a good night, Chloe. You can run it back. After we done, however long we finna spend on here, I'm finna put it up on the channel and title it, or if I need to title it any further. Have a safe night. Have a good night. Now, when it comes to lunch, when I was plant-based, then I would, for breakfast, well, no. For lunch, either, I would eat things like, my substitutions would be mushrooms for meat, TVP. Now, I want to make a note about TVP. TVP is not exactly the healthiest thing, but it's good every once in a while if you're plant-based or you just like to do meatless Monday or have a day during the week or during the month that you like to do meatless. Finally dice up some mushrooms. The dark leafy green vegetables, I would take and make a soup. Just for general health. Even if I was feeling good, I would take and saute some spinach, or either throw the spinach in the pot and make a nice deep flavorful broth of garlic powder, onion powder. Better than bouillon is really excellent. At least a teaspoon of that in there. And then Himalayan pink salt is healthier than the table salt, I hear, allegedly. When I would go to fast food places, this is where you got to be creative. Anything taco related, you want to substitute with black beans, pinto beans, kidney beans. If you're fixing chili at the house or any crock pot meals, your mushrooms are going to substitute for that. You could use soy curls, but be careful because that's a processed food. Mushrooms for that. And chili, finally dice up the mushrooms. Finally dice them up. Also, another good alternative I would have for lunch, but you don't want to overdo it. I would have chickpea tacos, and then I made mushroom tacos. Spinach mushroom stir fry. That sounds good. If you are plant-based and you're trying to also get rid of the dairy, if you're not allergic to cashews, soaked cashews or raw cashews, make sure they're unsalted. Nutritional yeast, garlic powder, onion powder, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, or favorite season of choice, just make sure it's light on the salt. And then roll that together and go ahead and put that in a saucepan. Butter it with plant-based butter or either unsalted regular butter. And you got a nice creamy sauce for anything. Stir fry, casserole, Alfredo. It makes a mean Alfredo sauce. Go ahead and put some parsley in there as well. Give that little gourmet feel. In fact, I would take a lot of those pasta sides. Now, I'm telling you some alternatives where you can just transform some pantry staples, but you don't want to rely on pantry staples. Like not a lot of pasta. You got to ease up on it. The only way I would recommend doing pasta is if it's like chickpea. They got stuff like chickpea pasta out. They got stuff like gluten-free pasta out. I would do that. I would take those things called the pasta sides and take in where it was pre-seasoned. I'm like, let's transform that. I would take and make that cashew cream mixture, dump that in the pan. After I get through boiling that pre-prepared, pre-seasoned stuff and get them letting it boil, the creamiest the creamiest spiral pasta and go ahead and toss some broccoli florets in there. Also, broccoli salad became a thing for me. So you know potato salad, you gotta watch it with potatoes because hash browns potatoes and potato salad is potatoes too. And you wind up in here having to ask everybody to sit on the other side of the room if you ain't careful, you're eating too many potatoes. Broccoli salad. Try broccoli salad instead of potato salad. Broccoli is high, I believe, in vitamin C. Fix it the same way you do it would with potato salad, but with broccoli. Saute the broccoli or air fry them. Couple seasonings. Dice up a couple carrots or other vegetables. Go with it. Chickpeas. Put in 1 teaspoon at a time or 1 tablespoon at a time of mayonnaise. Or if you're not a big fan of mayonnaise, aioli. Vegan mayonnaise, the Hellman's brand has it. And go to tossing that and you got broccoli salad. Much healthier. Now, I'm not saying you won't have a questionable, very smelly bowel movement, but it's a bit healthier. Refried beans. Now, you got to be careful with beans. Refried beans, if you make them from scratch, that's perfect. If not, you can use this with a can. Take refried beans, whichever way they're prepared. Whether you did them yourself or you pop the top open off a can. You're going to put a little bit of water in there, a little bit of cashew cream, or these days they have vegan cream cheese, or just use regular cream cheese. Take a, what do they call that? A flat spatula and mash out the chunks of those refried beans. Mash it out till it becomes a creamy, like soup. So think cream of refried beans. Cream of chicken, cream of refried beans. Put parsley in there, garlic, onion, cumin, spice. Oh, I got very creative. Also, you take cashew cream and put spinach and mushrooms in it too, and that can kind of mimic a creamy cream of mushroom type of soup, but with spinach, and do it that way. For desserts, jelly cranberry sauce, or the cranberry sauce that has the it's kind of chunky and it has whole cranberries in it. Sprinkle a little bit of brown sugar because that's definitely a bit healthier than the traditional sugar we're used to, allegedly. And a little bit of dairy-free whipped cream. You can do regular if you don't care, but get it as fat-free as possible. Going to fast food places. That significantly, when I tell you, I threw them people into something, going to them restaurants. I am not allowed to say which restaurants, but any ground beef, any beef, substituted with beans. And you got to be careful with beans. Hello, kitty fan. Appreciate you. Maybe they'll come back to me, or maybe I can do a fast food edition. Cause going now, if I had to do it, a challenge, a 24-hour challenge, just no meat. Going to the fast food places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know I throw them people into something. God, I was about throwing them into something back then. So far, that's the plant-based side that I ate, that I could think of, where it just everything. Things lasted longer as far as my application, body oils, perfumes, even stuff like this, where it wasn't all the perfume. It just projected from my pores much, 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 much better. Now, since I have returned back to eating my proteins, here is something I recommend to eat. And I'm going to warn you about a couple things you should. Now, hummus, hummus. I wore hummus out, plant-based. I kept hummus, eating proteins, now that I'm eating my proteins again. Hummus is such a creative thing. I still have what's called a hummus soup or hummus bowl. Now what you can do is you can just add salmon, about 2 tablespoons of hummus, fresh spinach, whole chickpeas, and maybe something else, and drizzle it with olive oil and stick a fork in it, and it's done. Tuna salad. You can make a hummus bowl with tuna salad. Do all those ingredients, add tuna or salmon. For chicken, chicken tacos, salmon tacos, cheese quesadillas. And so you got to be a bit more careful, because then once it's like you go back to eating your proteins, you got to be a bit more careful. Spinach, like a dark leafy green salad. And just put I've had a tuna bowl. Put tuna in it or protein of choice, salmon. Saute some spinach, or either put the fresh spinach in there. Find yourself maybe a couple beans to go with it, or just rice, and drizzle either a nice sauce, an aioli sauce over it. And you got I've been doing a lot of bowls, a lot of, and then pasta, you just have to be careful that it's maybe fat-free. Every once in a while, you can have your cheat meals. And yes, you have more choices eating your proteins, but then eating anything dairy is going to make you feel gassy. Anything potatoes going to make you feel gassy. And that's going to affect how you smell from your pores, and certainly when you're spending time in the bathroom. Okay? That's definitely going to make a difference. Salmon sandwiches. You want to take a salmon fillet, air fry that thing, bake it is the best, or air fry it. You don't want to actually put oil into it and put it in the stove top. I tried that since I've returned back to eating the proteins, but it's like, to get the flaking apart, bake that thing or air fry that thing if it fit. Cut that salmon fillet in half. Put one on two sandwich slices, or get the brioche bread, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Top that with some mayonnaise, some spinach as well. And then for the longest, when I was plant-based, and since I have returned back to eating proteins, I have swapped out, I've swapped up my leafy greens. I like to go for the darker, leafier greens, kale, spinach, all the others, arugula, and do those in place of traditional lettuce. Now, I might occasionally still have lettuce, but the darker and leafier and greener it is, chances are that it's the better for you. Protein shakes. Peanut butter, chocolate, whole milk, almond milk, oat milk, whatever milk you choose. And have yourself a protein shake. I couldn't have many of those when I was plant-based. Since then, I've had a few of my own personal protein shakes. Being that those contain dairy based on the type of milk that you place into it, I'd be careful with that, because that's sudden to make you gassy. If you you down in a protein shake every day or multiple times a week. You just kind of have to plan around that. Ooh. I try to stay away from beef, but occasionally I have had it. But I would stick to the other proteins, including chicken. Now, I'm not a nutritionist and I'm not a medical professional. See, it's always when I'm about smack dab in the middle of the conversation, I got to give you all a disclaimer. I'm not a medical professional. I'm only sharing what I eat to smell good, and and I just got through sharing the side of what I ate when I was plant based, and now what I eat now. Man, there's just been so much. There's been so much. Also, while I still eat bread, it's either honey wheat, whole grain, or butter bread. You might want to opt for making your own tortillas or pita bread. Pita bread is like the wife to hummus. Okay, let me put you on to something. Now, hummus is gonna make you a little gassy too, and a little sleepy, because I think there is an ingredient in it naturally in the chickpeas that causes you to feel sleep. So be careful if you're a hummus lover or you get a taste of one of those little mini cup hummus. Please be careful, and you'll want to go to sleep like nobody's business. But it's full of protein. It's very filling. Pita bread, opt for pita bread, more pita style breads over the traditional loaf of bread, or either opt for making your own. For oils, you want to go to cooking with oils over butter. If you're going to opt for butter, still stick with the unsalted butter. Also, if you're making lemonade, I know some of y'all probably will remember Kool-Aid and probably don't know what Kool-Aid is. It's a kind of a drink mix without having sugar in it. Swap out your sugars for either brown sugar and agave nectar, or at the very least, if not agave nectar, honey. And just get the purest form of raw honey. Or coconut. I believe they make a coconut type of sugar too. There's a lot. There's a lot I've eaten since I've gone back to eating proteins. And the fun part is because I have the best of both worlds. It allows you to be a bit more creative. My personal opinion. Since I know this is not all, so far, this is what I've eaten to smell good on both the plant-based side that we discussed first, and also since I've returned back to eating my regular proteins. So if you're just joining, this is going to go up on the channel so you can run it back. But if you would like to see more videos like this, I might have to make a separate playlist for this alone as to what to eat to smell good. Then on either side, I'm going to link you to whatever related playlist or related video when it allows me for your enjoyment. And all in all, plant-based or not, Drink that H2O. Until next time.